Right, Raghav, thanks for joining me. Let's have a quick catch up on all things ACI, the state of ACI within the UK and Europe, in all of EMEA at the minute.
Yep.
How do you see, given that the product's been around for some time now, right? We've done it 7, 8 years, 7, 8, 9 years, whatever it is. How do you see the kind of maturity evolving? How do you see customers, ACI customers specifically, kind of maturing? Are there any kind of behavioural patterns or any kind of requirements that they're looking for? How are they getting on with the product? What are they looking to do next? What are the common requirements coming to you, and so on?
So in terms of ACI, so you're right, it is a mature product, and I think the great thing about it as a technology, it's still very relevant now as it was many years ago. It addresses all the use cases around automation, around security, and that's not changed at all. And just in the UK, we've onboarded a large financial institution, and their experience has been fantastic. That being said, we've got a lot of customers who have bought it, who have deployed it, and I would say that they're probably at different stages of their deployment. So we've got a mutual customer who's deployed ACI, and it's very mature. It's very much part of their wider business and their business strategy. But we've got some organisations that have just bought it and they're just running it as a standalone network, which is a big shame.
It comes down to the maturity of the client themselves, right? How much how invested they are in
right.
Not just the product, but the kind of whole infrastructure kind of portfolio, right? Even outside of Cisco, some customers are just happy just to kind of keep the lights on. Others want to tinker.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it type of attitude. Yeah, but I think that the risk always with that is you got to make sure that you're on top of. Let's say code upgrades, conformance, for example, because then you can start to really take advantage of some of the new capabilities that are coming down the line from ACI specifically.
That is music to my ears. That is, from a partner perspective, we want to see customers on new versions of code. We want to see them with new hardware. It gives them confidence. You don't want to be in a stage where you're running kind of old kit, kind of whatever stage it is, EOL, EOS, whatever stage it is. You want to see customers on new kit, new versions of code, and so on. Give all that capability available to them, right? These new features they're ready to be consumed, but sometimes you just got to keep up with the speed of the product development. How do you see customers kind of getting to that stage? You kind of mentioned conformance and so on. What do people ask about kind of conformance and so on?
So I think it's twofold. So I think the mentality for a lot of customers who have changed partners or who have ultimately personnel have left that business, have ultimately introduced ACI, they're very much afraid to touch their fabrics. But there's some that have basically said, right, we need to frankly do something about this. Because I mean let's face it. With old versions of code, there's going to be a certain point that Cisco will no longer support that version of code. So there's a minimum baseline, which I think is 4.2 right now. But 5.x is going to be the next standard of release. That's going to be that we recommend customers to move to. And the advantage of doing that is taking advantage of things like Sherlock, for example, which is really Cisco are able to provide a proactive approach to tech and support to our customers. So what we're able to do is, using machine learning, we're able to correlate a lot of data sets from customers all around the world that are running ACI. And as soon as we start to see some correlations between, let's say it might be an issue, it might be a bug or something like that that's impacting a customer, I don't know, it might be in the Middle East, we're able to proactively inform the customers that are running that same version of code or that we envisage are going to face that same problem, inform them so they can carry out remediation to that fabric with their partner.
So you're looking at patterns of every customer, every software hardware combination to kind of extract all of that data so that you can kind of make informed decisions for customers on their behalf.
Absolutely right. And then you're able to take that one step further. So with insights, networks have always been a bit of a dark art. Yeah, everyone blames the network because no one really knows what's going on with the network whenever there's an outage.
Don't tell anyone it's not dark art. No, they'll be out of business.
but ultimately, what we're able to do now, Cisco have made huge strides and huge investments in really helping customers better operationalize their fabrics by providing them visibility, insights. We've got a new feature set coming out around sustainability as well, whereby customers can really understand if they're meeting and conforming to their ESG priorities and agendas as well. And we know that's a focus area for a lot of all the organizations that we're talking to.
And it's an area that a lot of people have as a priority, but don't know how to deal with it.
Exactly right.
I've seen the capability to be able to kind of understand kind of all the power consumption, where that is, and all of the kind of thoughts around it. Having that on a single dashboard, no one has that available at the minute.
Yeah.
But it's something a lot of people want.
Yeah.
Some people know they need it but don't have it. Some people don't know that they need it. It's good to see.
Yeah, exactly right.
What about kind of other kind of tooling sets? Like how do you see Nexus Dashboard Insights, and so on? How do you see kind of the adoption and all the functionality being consumed? Right, we've seen the product, we use the product. It's an amazing product, but there's so much to it that's kind of consistently evolving. Do you still see people kind of huge interest in it? Do you see people kind of do you feel like you're ahead of their requirements, right? If that makes sense, because there's so much there, but a lot of people, like you're talking about, some customers don't always invest as much as they should do from I'm not talking financial investment, just feed and watering, right? Do you see some people not know that capabilities like NDI exist? Or
so interestingly enough, and this is all public information. So Cisco on a journey to become a software company, and actually what we're seeing as part of our software stack, which sits on top of our traditional networking portfolio, Nexus Dashboard and Nexus, and the associated apps that sit on top of Nexus Dashboard. So whether that's Insights, the orchestrator, the data broker capability, we're seeing a huge amount of growth in that space. Whether that's in the small space, commercial, right up to the big global enterprise. So we're seeing customers buy it, and we're seeing customers now not only buy it but adopt it, but at different sort of stages.
Definitely. From what we see at the minute, we see a lot of customers happy with kind of ACI as a product. You said a few minutes ago, it's a mature product, it's been around a long time. A lot of customers are kind of consistently trying to upgrade. Right? We want customers to be on new versions of code, new hardware, and so on. But from our perspective, what we see is customers can sometimes struggle to get there by themselves without products giving them information or partners helping them on that journey. So what I like about NI specifically, we've got the pre-upgrade analysis. We kind of can get all the security notifications, or the PSO notifications, or the software defect analysis. From if I was a consumer, it's just easy to kind of use that platform to give you confidence, right? People need the confidence that they can upgrade without ending up with P45 on the desk the next day. Right? That's the rubber stamp that they need. They need something to say that this upgrade's easy. We do see a lot of people kind of adopt ND, NDI, NDO at the minute for a number of different reasons. All different kind of customer use cases vary and so on. But it's good to hear that there's still an uptake. There's still a lot of new functionality coming. Every month, we're hearing new features being made available.
Absolutely.
So it's good to see that kind of momentum is still continuing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like for us, this is a key flagship product because we know that it absolutely aligns and it addresses customer challenges. So, whilst and Cisco are going to continue to make investments in the data center space, we're announcing a new capability around 400 gig and 800 gig. You're still going to have to operationalize that. So you're going to see that continued investment in NDI and the associated apps that work alongside it.
We're starting to see the 400 gig requirement come through. We have companies that we work with that that need 400 gig now,
Yeah.
you know, it's not a myth. They use it, you know, there are live kind of customers out there running it.
Yeah.
It's good to hear.
It's quite funny. I mean, like if you look back a few years ago, you know, customers would like laugh at us when we said, well, you've got to future-proof your network and think about, you know, you need, you know, have a 100 gig network, and they'd say we'd never hit a 100 gig threshold. And I think with things now, I know it's a buzzword, but AI, you know, we're starting to see that become more and more prevalent in organizations that we're talking to. You know, everyone's doing something with GPUs, and ultimately, as you start to have a scale-out type of architecture, you're going to have a network that ultimately scales and aligns and supports it. So, you know, to your point, 400 gig is definitely something that is here. We're seeing a lot of customers buy into it and ultimately adopt it. And the beauty is that a lot of the architecture that we've got is 400 gig ready, but it supports right up to 800 gig. So, you know, we're providing that complete future-proof platforms.
It's quite tied closely with the sustainability element, right? Because the power needed to run 400 gig, 800 gig kind of speeds, it's huge kind of power requirement, right? We've seen the new Nexus portfolio switches, that power consumption is just dropped, right? It used to be up here. It's now you can run the same service with a fraction of the power.
Correct.
But it goes back like having NDI, for example, to kind of help prove that. Is good to see.
It's good to see.
It definitely feels like, you know, now that the product is stable. Not now the product's stable as if it wasn't before, but it is a mature product. It's definitely, it feels to us like it's a phase of kind of building on top of that, right? Getting the validation or the network assurance around it, and still kind of making it consumable at the same time.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Well, anything else? Any other thoughts or insights you want to give that you're allowed to say, or are they all kind of TS?
No, I would say watch this space. I mean, like some of the announcements that we've made out at Cisco Live, they're really exciting about where we're heading as an organization. Some of the acquisitions that we've made as well, which complement the visibility and observability space as well, they're really exciting. So, watch this space. Yeah, it's exciting.
You tease.
Yeah, you tease. Yeah, sorry. There you go. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for your time, and we'll speak soon.
Cheers. Take care.